Aloha, aloha, aloha to the warriors out there. Road to 45, day 12. Day 12. So it's been a journey, and life is a journey. And today we're going to dig into understanding our Kuleana. What is it that we're called to do? What is the Kuleana that we carry on our shoulders? And if we understand it, what do we understand about it? And hopefully we can get to some solutions on better understanding what is it that we are carrying in our Kuleana. So let's dig into that. Kuleana is a huge thing for us, Kanaka Maoli, and being of this generation, learning to adapt and survive this thing called life. I learned a long time ago that Kuleana is not necessarily something you choose. Kuleana, I think, for me, in my understanding, is Kuleana has been chosen for you before you were born. And I say that with confidence because I know that those who had sacrificed that came before me and had sacrificed all that they have done to dream me into this space, they knew that someone in their lineage is going to arrive and they're going to have to fulfill this duty, this calling, this whatever it is that they are going to find to do. And so we don't get to necessarily choose our Kuleana. And so sometimes I think when we fail to understand that, we fail to give ourselves the space to breathe into what is being asked of us to do and to perform, whether it's for our community, whether it's for our ohana, our families, whether it's for our jobs. Our Kuleana was chosen for us. And when we understand that, or when we start to understand that, maybe we can break down some of the ways in which we comprehend this Kuleana, because it is not easy. It is not easy. For instance, I didn't ever think or ever assumed that I would become a teacher or I would be in the classroom with young minds and souls. But I know that it was a Kuleana that was given to me way before I was born. And even though I didn't prepare myself as a young kid and as a young adult for a Kuleana as this, I knew that stepping into it was going to provide me the opportunities to figure out, who am I in this space? What is the work that I'm intended to do? And how do I learn, or how do I bring myself to understand what is it that I need to do in the classroom, right? Or in front of these young minds and souls. So that's not something that I definitely, I didn't plan to become one. It wasn't something that as a kid I was like, I'm going to be a teacher. It wasn't what I was focused on growing up. But I know now, that's my Kuleana. And so I take all of that with a grain of salt, and I take it with, I think, just with grace. I take it with grace, and I had to learn to give myself a little bit of grace in this process. And that's something that, we as human beings have to figure out. Does what I do make me happy? It's not the only thing, but it's not something that saddens me. I think what saddens me more is that people aren't in a space or aren't in a place in their life where they have the capacity to fully grasp what is it that they are intended to do. Like a la'au lapa'au person, or someone who practices traditional medicines, right? They come with this huge background of knowledge based on some of what they worked on and also things that have been passed on to them. And so when they step into those roles, they step into that Kuleana of all those that have come before them and got them to that space. And so I look at teaching as something like that. It wasn't something I was called to do or actually was aware that I was going to do when I was a teenager. But I took on this position and walked into this space not fully understanding why I was there, but understanding that I needed to be there in order to find the why. And so how many of you have ever been in a space where you're going, is this what I'm meant to do? And it's okay to be in your mid 40s, 50s and realize that's not what I want to do anymore. I've done it and I need to, it's not bringing me joy. And so they move, into a different place or a different space. But what most of us fail to understand, or most people fail to understand, is that switch happening at that age, that was an intention in many ways from those who came before you. It's they're going to be able to do this. And up until a certain point, they'll expand and learn to go and do this as well. And so that's part of Kuleana, is understanding am I going to be a teacher for the rest of my life? Probably not. But in the time frame that I am inside the classroom or in front of these young minds and souls, my Kuleana is to make sure that I'm doing the job that is being asked of me to do. And am I raising the bar of what I'm being asked to do? And am I setting it up so that those who come after me are going to be able to have a foundation to stand on, but also the capacity in the room to build their own and add to that foundation so that those coming up after them will understand their Kuleana. So yeah, Kuleana is something that we grow into during the seasons of our lives. And this road to 45, as I'm going into all of these days and looking at things to make comments about or maybe bring to the attention of other people, I realize even in this space, my Kuleana is tell the stories. Tell the stories, because if you don't, those who might need it won't get it. So pick the subjects. Go with what is being asked of you, but also what is being you're moved by, and understand that this life is very short, and so we have X amount of time, days, years, decades, to get it all figured out. And it's not that when you get to the end of the road that you have figured it out, but that you have enjoyed learning how to get to the end, right? It's the journey, not necessarily the destination. So again, Kuleana for me is something that was chosen for me. And I don't know about all of you, but maybe you should look back and see, what am I doing now that is what I'm supposed to be doing? And am I doing what was intended for me to do? And if not, do I have the capacity to figure it out? And that's all about the Kuleana that is being bestowed on you. So I'm gonna leave it at that. But you guys have a good one. Always keep Allah in your heart, because when you have Allah in your heart, you have more Allah to share with the world. And I truly and honestly believe that Allah will save the world one person at a time. So again, take it with you wherever you go, and always remember, Allah is the one that's gonna save you. You guys, Aloha.